Hey there, and welcome to another Car Conversations with Dr. B, because I'm in my car and I'm Dr. B. So today I want to talk to you about COVID-19. Yeah, the coronavirus that has hit the United States and the world and just put us in this crazy, fearful frame of mind. And I've been talking with a lot of people, my corporate clients, my friends and family members, and it's just so stressful. And I was actually talking with a group yesterday on a Zoom call and talking about the idea of stress, and that stress is really the difference between what we seek to control and what we can actually control. And so I suggested that they send out something to their staff talking about some things that each of the staff members could do that they could control. Things like gratitude practices, naming 3 things they could be grateful for today, 3 things that went right, 3 pieces of magic that they're finding in the world today. And it doesn't take long if you're focused on those things. Much easier to dive into the terrible space of looking at your retirement plan and where those numbers have gone and trying to figure out where your next meal is going to come from. It's really, really, really hard to focus on things to be grateful for, but they really are all around us. And the other thing that I suggested was for them to make, a brainstorm list of all the ways that they could show self-care for themselves, whether it was taking a nap or, doing some stretching or, treating themselves to a really nice cup of coffee. But find a list of those things and every day do at least one of them. Obviously, it'd be great if you could do more, but to do at least one of them and really cherish those moments. And another thing that I talked with some friends about the other day was all of this family time we're all getting. I've been seeing all these statistics about divorce rates going up and, just mayhem. And my house is not any different than yours, that we are on top of each other in ways that we hadn't been before and under very uncertain, stressful times. Like all of a sudden my daughter's home from college when she thought she was going to be staying at college for the year. And my younger daughter is not able to do her competitions and she's fearful about prom and she already had a surgery rescheduled and, her job isn't there anymore and just all of these things going on. And I was talking with some other people about their family situations, and they were talking about everybody's handing their pain thing to each other. They're stressed, so they're here, you take it, here, you take it. So everyone's passing around these hot potatoes of pain. And so I have a couple things I'd like you to keep in mind in doing that. One is completely, it's natural. That's what we do, right? We don't want to hold the hot potato of pain, so we hand it to somebody else. But I want you to think before you escalate conflict in your own homes is that my potato? Because if it's not my potato, I'm not going to pick it up, right? I'm going to see them handing it to me, and I'm going to imagine that they're putting it down in front of me, and I'm not going to pick it up. Because at least then you can then dive into some empathy and compassion for how much pain they're feeling and not pick it up and hold it as your own, because guess what? You don't have enough space for that. There's enough going on within the 4 walls of your home, You have got to be able to just focus on taking care of yourself, okay? So don't pick up the pain potato. Yes, I just called it the pain potato. The second thing I want to tell you is a story about my older daughter, when she was young. And we would talk about disproportionate response. Now, I didn't call it that because she was 3, but I talked about responding to things on a scale of 1 to 5. And if something were a 5, like the house were burning down, then you would run around the house screaming and, well, you wouldn't, but you could understand that a 3 or 4-year-old would do that. But if it's, my chip dropped on the floor, you're not going to have the same response as you would if the house were on fire. So we used to, talk about that number scale. So we would take the excess, all of that excess disproportionate response, right? And I'd call it a bad attitude, right? The bad stuff, this ugly feeling, this, extra anger and frustration and all of that. And we would stand at the front door, prop open the front door, and we would take it and heave it and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and we would send it out into the world, right? And I said we were going to send it to Annandale. Now, Annandale was the town next to us in Springfield, Virginia. So I'm we're going to send it to Annandale. You ready? And so we would do this ritual. Now, it's a beautiful cleansing ritual, which I think if all of us could imagine ourselves taking that, right, and sending it out there, it's not close enough 6-foot rule to be contagious to anybody else, but taking it and just sending it out into the ethers and letting it just float away, right? Just do a cleansing ritual. Like, we air out the house during spring cleaning. Let's do that emotionally to the spaces that we have inside our homes today. Now, a little side note to this, which is the funny part of the story. So many months later, that same daughter brought me this letter and she said, "Mommy, can you mail this for me? I don't have the address." And I said, "What is it?" And it was an apology note to Anne and Dale. She thought that all those times that we were sending her bad attitude to Annandale, like to Springfield, we were sending it to a couple named Anne and Dale. So anyway, don't send it to Anne and Dale. Just send it out into the air. Just let it float away and allow more space within your homes, within this social isolation that we're practicing right now. And allow that space to be warmer, more loving, more compassionate, starting with ourselves. So with that, love and light, go bring the light to the world. I know you can't bring it out into the world and amongst lots of people, but you can still hold it within inside yourself and send it out in any way you can. So with that, bring the light. Bye everybody.